Hi everybody, it's Mr. Miller from Healthy Bodies, Healthy Minds. Today we're going to be talking about school lunches. You're going to pretend to be a food service evaluator and decide whether 4 sample lunches meet the standards set forth by the federal government. Let's see what the USDA regulations are. The USDA requirements have set forth guidelines for all of your food groups. Let's check out fruits and vegetables first. You must have 1 fruit and 1 vegetable, or 2 fruits or 2 vegetables. Here is an example of some fruits and vegetables: apples, oranges, corn, broccoli, grapes, and blueberries. Fruits and vegetables provide vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Make sure you eat a variety of colors when you eat your fruits and vegetables. Think of the rainbow. Make sure you eat every color of the rainbow of your fruits and vegetables. The same color fruits and vegetables usually have the same vitamins and minerals. If you eat a variety, like the rainbow, of all the colors, then you'll get all the vitamins and minerals that you need to be healthy. Here is a picture of a variety of fruits and vegetables. You can see many different colors. Now, let's check out the grains group. What is required for grains? Each school lunch is required to have 1 grain. Grains provide carbohydrates for energy. Here's an example of some grains. Next up, let's take a look at protein. What is required for protein? Each school lunch is required to have 1 protein, which provides iron for energy and protein for growth. A protein for school lunch can be any of these: meat, poultry, fish, dried beans, peas, eggs, or nuts. Cheese or yogurt can also be substituted for meat, since dairy foods are also a good source of protein. And here is an example of some proteins. You have peanut butter, hamburger, salmon, and black beans. Next up is the dairy food group. What is required for dairy? Each school lunch is required to have 1 low-fat or fat-free milk. Milk provides calcium for strong bones and protein for growth. And there is an ice cold glass of milk. Now that you're the expert, let's check out your skills. Lunch number 1. Does lunch number 1 meet the standards for a school lunch? Hamburger on a bun with lettuce and tomato, fruit salad, and whole milk. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to look at the lunch and determine if it's a pass or fail. Okay, let's check this one out. It has hamburger, which is a protein. It is on a bun, which will be the grains. It has lettuce and tomato, which are both vegetables. It has a side of fruit salad, so we're 4 for 4. Last one is whole milk. And remember, boys and girls, it needs to be a low-fat or fat-free milk. Whole milk will not justify here. So this 4, it is a fail. Next up, lunch number 2. Does lunch number 2 meet the standard for school lunches? Vegetable soup, egg salad sandwich, and an apple, and fat-free milk. I'm going to give you a couple of moments to check out this lunch. All right, let's check this one out. It has vegetable soup, which is your vegetables. It has an egg salad sandwich. So egg is the protein, and the sandwich would be the grain. The bread would be the grain. Apple would be the fruit, and fat-free milk would justify the dairy. So this is a pass. Great job. So far, we've had 2 lunches. One was a pass, and one was a fail. Let's check out lunch number 3. Does lunch number 3 meet the standard for a school lunch? Cheese pizza with sausage, onions, mushroom, and pineapple chunks, and low-fat milk. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to check this one out. Okay, let's take a deeper look here. We've got cheese pizza with sausage, onions, mushroom, and pineapple chunks. Well, the cheese will constitute the dairy food group. Sausage will be the protein. Mushrooms and onions are veggies. Pineapple chunks are the fruit. The low-fat milk is another dairy. And the grains from the pizza crust make this a pass. Awesome job. Okay, let's check out lunch number 4. Does lunch number 4 meet the standard for school lunch? Orange slices, a waffle,
Hi boys and girls, it's Mr. Miller with Healthy Bodies, Healthy Minds. It's time to do some Fitbit fun activities, and today's game is called Veggie and Verbs. Who knows what a verb is? If you said a verb is an action word, you are correct. So we're going to take some fruits and vegetables and we're going to pair them up with some actions. Our first action is twist. I wonder what we could think of that starts with the letter T. Tomatoes. Great idea. So let's do the tomato twist, and we're going to do this for 10 seconds. Are you ready? Arms at our side. Here we go. Tomato twist. Awesome. This is a great core exercise, right? Get your body going back and forth, left and right. Tomato twist. Perfect. Hey boys and girls, our next activity is going to be balancing. Can anybody think of a word that begins with the letter B that's a vegetable? Maybe even green? Broccoli. Awesome. So we're going to do the broccoli balance. So you're going to go back and you're going to go on one foot and you're going to lift your leg in the air and you're going to balance for 10 seconds. Ready? Go. If you have to put your arms out to help you, you can. Broccoli balance. You know what, Mr. Miller's so good, I'm going to switch legs. If you need to put your finger in your belly button, you can do that too. It'll help you. And there's 20 seconds of broccoli balance. Next up, boys and girls, is march. The verb is march. Can anybody think of a vegetable that begins with the letter M? Mushroom would work. Let's call this Mr. Miller's Mushroom March. Here we go. Mr. Miller's Mushroom March. Again, we're going to do this for 10 seconds. And that's Mr. Miller's Mushroom March. Our next activity that we're going to do is lunch. The verb will be lunch. I'm wondering if anybody can help me think of a vegetable that begins with the letter L. Lettuce would work. So we're going to do some lettuce lunges. Now what you're going to do, feet together, and you're going to take your leg and go straight out and down and back up. So there's one. Lettuce lunge. Lettuce lunge. You're going to feel this in your thighs, in your buttocks, in your lower legs. And that was the lettuce lunge. Our next verb is going to be shake. Yep, you heard me right, shake. What is a red fruit that begins with the letter S? What about strawberry? So this is the strawberry shake. We could also do the strawberry spin. Whew. But that one gets me dizzy. Whoa, looks like Mr. Miller had too many strawberry shakes. Whew. I hope you had as much fun as I did, boys and girls. This is Mr. Miller from Healthy Bodies, Healthy Minds, signing off. Gregory the Terrible Eater by Mitchell Sharmat, illustrated by Jose Aruego and Ariane Dewey. Once there was a goat named Gregory. Gregory liked to jump from rock to rock, kick his legs into the air, and butt his head against the walls. "I'm an average goat," said Gregory. But Gregory was not an average goat. Gregory was a terrible eater. Every time he sat down to eat with his mother and father, he knew he was in for trouble. "Would you like a tin can, Gregory?" asked Mother Goat. "No thanks," said Gregory. "How about a nice box, a piece of rug, and a bottle cap?" asked Father Goat. "Bah," said Gregory unhappily. "Well, I think it's a meal fit for a goat," said Mother Goat, as she chewed on an old shoe. "It certainly is," said Father Goat, as he ate his shirt, buttons and all. "I don't know why you're such a fussy eater, Gregory." "I'm not fussy," said Gregory. "I just want fruits and vegetables, eggs, fish, bread and butter, good stuff like that." Mother Goat stopped eating the shoe. "Now, what kind of food is that, Gregory?" she said. "It's what I like," said Gregory. "It's revolting," said Father Goat, and he wiped his mouth with his napkin. After Gregory was excused from the table, Father Goat said, "Gregory is such a terrible eater. I wonder what's wrong with him," said Mother Goat. Mother and Father Goat ate their evening newspaper in silence. The next morning, Mother and Father Goat were enjoying a pair of pants and a coat for breakfast. Gregory came to the table. "Good morning, Gregory," said Father and Mother Goat. "Good morning," said Gregory. "May I have some orange juice, cereal, and bananas for breakfast, please?" "Oh, no," Mother Goat said. "Do have some of this nice coat. Take a bite of these pants," said Father Goat. "Bah," said Gregory, and he left the table. Father Goat threw down his napkin. "That does it," he said. "Gregory just isn't eating right. We must take him to the doctor." Father and Mother Goat took Gregory to the doctor. Dr. Ram was munching on a few pieces of cardboard. "What seems to be the trouble?" he asked. "Gregory is a terrible eater," said Mother Goat. "We've offered him all of the best. Shoes, boxes, magazines, tin cans, goats, pants. But all he wants is fruits and vegetables, eggs, fish, orange juice, and other horrible things." "What do you have to say about this, Gregory?" asked Dr. Ram. "I want what I like," said Gregory. "Makes sense," said Dr. Ram. He turned to Mother and Father Goat. "I've treated picky eaters before," he said. "They have to develop a taste for good food slowly. Try giving Gregory one new food each day until he starts eating everything." That night for dinner, Mother Goat gave Gregory spaghetti and a shoelace in tomato sauce. "Not too bad," said Gregory. The next day she gave him string beans and a rubber heel cut into small pieces. "The meal was good and rubbery," said Gregory. The day after that, Mother Goat said, "We're having your favorite today, vegetable soup, but there's one condition. You also have to eat the can." "Okay," said Gregory. "What's for dessert?" "Ice cream," said Father Goat, "but you have to eat the box too." "Yummy," said Gregory. "I'm proud of you," said Father Goat. "You're beginning to eat like a real goat." "I'm learning to like everything," said Gregory. One evening, Father Goat asked, "Has anyone seen my striped necktie?" "Not since breakfast," said Mother Goat. "Come to think of it, I haven't seen my sewing basket today. I left it in the living room after supper last night." Father Goat turned to Gregory. "Gregory, have you been eating in between meals?" "Yes," said Gregory. "I can't help it. Now I like everything." Well, said Mother Goat, "it's all right to eat like a goat, but you shouldn't eat like a pig." "Oh," said Gregory. After Gregory went to bed, Mother Goat said, "I'm afraid Gregory might eat the clothes hamper." "Yes, and then my toolkit will be next," said Father Goat. "He's eating too much. We have to do something about it." The next evening, just before supper, Mother and Father Goat went to the town dump. They brought home 8 flat tires, 3-foot piece of barber pole, a broken violin, and half a car. They piled everything into Gregory's sandbox. When Gregory came home for supper, he said, "Well, what's all this stuff in the yard?" "Your supper," said Father Goat. "It looks so good," said Gregory. Gregory ate the tires and the violin, then slowly the barber pole. But when he started on the car, he said, "I've got a stomach ache. I'm going to have to go lie down." Gregory went into his room. "I think Gregory ate too much junk," said Father Goat. "Let's hope so," said Mother Goat. All night, Gregory tossed and twisted and moaned and groaned. The next morning, he went down for breakfast. "What would you like for breakfast today, Gregory?" asked Father Goat. "Scrambled eggs, 2 pieces of wax paper, and a glass of orange juice," said Gregory. "That sounds just about right," said Mother Goat. And it was. Thank you very much for taking some time to read Gregory the Terrible Eater with me. Remember, boys and girls, you should be eating from all 5 food groups: fruits, vegetables, dairy, protein, and grain. And make sure that we're always eating the proper amount, the proper portion of each of our 5 food groups. Thanks, and have an awesome day.
Hi everybody, it's Mr. Miller with Healthy Bodies, Healthy Minds. Today, for our cooking demonstration, we are going to go ahead and make rainbow coleslaw. There's lots of wonderful ingredients in this, so come on, let's build this together. Alright, the first food that we have is our red cabbage. Now remember, you want to make sure you take off all of the outside leaves, which I've done already, and give it a good rinse down to make sure you're cleaning up all of anything that might be on the outside of it. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it in half. And as you can see, it's very beautiful on the inside. And what you're going to want to do is chop this into fine pieces, and then go ahead and grab your bowl, and then slowly just place all of the red cabbage into your bowl and get ready for your next step. You're going to want to repeat the same process. Dice up your green cabbage and go ahead and throw it in your bowl and get ready for your next step. Next up, we have our red onion. Just cut off the ends. Make sure you peel off the first layer. And then what you're going to do is you're going to start slicing it in long pieces. And after you've sliced it, you're going to take that long pieces and you're going to dice them up into small, fine pieces. You do not want too many pieces of big red onion. And once you have your onion cut up, make sure you find your bowl and place it in the bowl and get ready to move on to your next step. Next up, we have the red pepper. Feel free to slice those, get rid of those seeds. You do not want those seeds inside of the recipe today. Small pieces, so they're bite-sized. Make sure you dice them up, and here you can see they are. Once they're done, feel free to put them into the bowl and set them aside until you get ready for the next piece of the recipe, which is our cheese, shredded carrots. Now here pictured is our mayonnaise and our red wine vinegar and some pepper. We're going to mix this up, and this will be the base for the dressing for our coleslaw today. You're going to go ahead and add 2 cups of red cabbage. Next up, we're going to be grabbing our green cabbage, and that is 2 cups as well. So there's 1 and 2. Next, we have 1/4 of a cup. We're going to be using this twice of our red bell pepper. So 1/4 plus 1/4 is a half a cup. Shredded carrots, same thing. We're using half a cup, so 1/4 plus 1/4 equals half a cup. Our onions, we're going to be using the 1/4 again, plus 1/4 again. And this is why fractions are important. Here's our dressing that we had made up from before. Now the key, boys and girls, is we're going to want to make sure that we get this on all of the vegetables. So feel free to mix it up and make sure all of the vegetables, and there you are. And here's the finished product. And now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our cheese. And feel free to grab a pinch of cheese and sprinkle it on top of your recipe. And that's rainbow coleslaw.
Well, gang, thanks for joining me in making a rainbow coleslaw. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. The best part is always getting to try a sample. Get a good piece here. Delicious. Until next time, this is Mr. Miller from Healthy Bodies, Healthy Minds, signing off.
For more recipes like rainbow coleslaw, please visit mihotm.recipes